All right, everyone, and we are continuing on with, um, with Unit 7. So we are going to start on page 200, and this is 7 practice. All right, so let's look at it. So we're looking right here. Should look like this, and you've got this this time chart, or timetable of things that happened in the past from the year 1994 until the year 2004. And so they want us to practice using the past progressive or the simple past in these sentences. So let's start with number one says, in 1994, Mike was living in Boston. Okay, so when it became 1994, he was already living there. So that makes me think that probably in 1993, he was also living there. And his plan was probably to live there the next year as well. We're going to start with number 2. When Lillian blank in New York in 1996, Mike blank in Boston. Okay, so 1996, so 94 to 2000, he was in Boston. In 96, she arrived in New York, so she probably, and she, if you look down here, she lived in New York from 96 to 2004. Okay, so we're going to do this. When Lillian blank in New York in 1996, so the word was arrive, and after when we use the past tense, or the past simple, right? So when Lillian arrived in New York in 1996, Mike, he was already living there because he started living there in 1994. So Mike was living in Boston. All right, number 3, in 2000, Lillian what in New York? In 2000, right, so from 1999 to 2004, so we're going to say in 2000, just like Mike was living in Boston, in 2000, Lillian, okay, so she started before and she continued later. We're going to go with was living in New York. Okay, this works a lot like what were you doing at 6 o'clock on Monday night? Right, at 6 o'clock, I was sitting in the classroom. So it started before and it was continuing on. So in 2000, Lillian was living in New York. Okay, the next one, from 1996 to 1999, Lillian blank at a university in New York. So from 1996 to 1999, Lillian, right, blank at a university in New York. And it tells us that she studied. There's no interruption on this one. Okay, it's not a specific year somewhere in the middle. It's just this. Lillian studied. Where was I? At a university in New York. All right, number 5. In 2001, Mike blank in Japan, and he blanked there too. So it says he lived and worked in Japan in 2001. Oh, sorry. He lived in Japan and worked there too, right? Is that what it said? All right, on to the next one, number 6. In 2002, Lillian Mike. 2002, it says Lillian met Mike, so we're going to go with in 2002, Lillian, oops, one L, right? Met it's two L's. This whole time I've been spelling it wrong. Oh no. Sorry, I have to be so perfect. Okay, it is two L's. Sorry. Okay, in 2002, Lillian met Mike. So we're just using the past tense. There's no interruption. It's not like she was meeting Mike when her phone rang, when she tripped and fell. Okay, number 7, Lillian blank in New York when she blank Mike. Okay, so probably she was living in New York. Let's see, in 2002. So between 1996 and 2004. So we're going to say again, Lillian with two L's was living in New York when she met Mike. Okay, and remember after when, the next verb, at least for this this unit, the next verb is going to be the past simple, not the past progressive. Number 8, in 1999, Lillian, what happened in 1999? Blank for a computer company. All right, so 1998 to 2000, so definitely in 1999, Lillian was working for a computer company. All right, number 9, Mike blank for microdisc when he met Lillian. So we can say Mike was working, right? And I'm saying was working because later over here it says when, so he was already doing that, right? Working is an action. It's an active verb. So Mike was working for, what was it called? Microdisc when he met Lillian. All right, and number 10, Lillian married Mike while, okay, we're going to say this, while he, now because of while, I know I have to use the past progressive, while he was working for Microdisc. Ta-da! Okay, on to the next page. Okay, this next one, this is 8 practice. What you need to do is look at what happened. Something happened, what happened, something happened, and then you have to write in the past progressive what you think was happening before. So like number 1 says, he burned his finger. He burned his finger. Well, what happened before that, or what was happening that made him burn his finger? So maybe he was cooking when he burned his finger. Maybe, we don't know. Look at number 2. She started to cry. She started to cry. So maybe, well, why do people cry? Maybe she was, quick, give me an action verb. Watching, that's a good one. Watching a sad movie. Maybe she was watching a sad movie when she started to cry. I love it. Good job, everyone. Number 3, he fell down. So maybe, what was he doing? Maybe he was dancing. Who knows when he fell down? All right, number 4, it fell and broke to pieces. Something fell and broke to pieces. What fell and broke to pieces? I don't know. A plate. So maybe the man was washing a plate, right? Who knows? When it fell and broke to pieces. Oh, pieces. There we go. All right, number 5, he fell asleep. You hear the dog? I've got dogs, and they're crazy. He fell asleep. By the way, past progressive right there, right? I was talking when the dog started to bark, and now the dog is barking. And now I can say, while he was talking, the dog was barking. See, the past progressive is everywhere. Number 5, I don't know if you can hear the dog. There's a dog barking. It's my dog. Phil Collins is his name. Okay, he fell asleep. So we can say maybe he, now if it's like me, The best place for me to sleep is in the movie theater, in the cinema. So maybe he was watching a movie, or at the dentist. I fell asleep at the dentist a lot. Or yesterday, I got my hair cut. I fell asleep while my friend was cutting my hair. Maybe he was watching a movie when he fell asleep. Remember what fall asleep means? When one eye gets heavy and then the other eye gets heavy and you... Right? So the past tense of fall is fell. Right, look at number 6. We heard a strange noise. So what were they maybe doing? Okay, well maybe... That said we, right? Maybe we were... Of course we know what we were doing, but we were camping and we heard a strange noise. I don't know why. I really don't like maybe in this one, because if you heard a strange noise, you probably know exactly what you were doing. So I'm going to take out the maybe. Maybe just sounds like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm telling the truth or not. Number 7, I saw a man's head in the window, hopefully attached to a body, not a floating head. All right, so I saw a man's head in the window. So I was, maybe I was trying to sleep. One eye open. Ah, there's a man! Right? When I saw a man's head in the window, that would kind of terrify me, because that would mean that a man was in the backyard of my house. Number 8, the lights went out. So maybe they were, I don't know, eating dinner. Who knows? When the lights went out. By the way, can you hear? Here's my other dog. Say hi, Bella. Hi. 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 She wants to know what her crazy brother's doing. But I had to lock him out because he attacks her. He's about 3 times the size, and he always tries to chew her ears or her tail. But she's a sweetie. Aren't you a sweetie? Who's a good dog? All right. Number 9, she laughed loudly. She laughed loudly. So maybe she was watching a movie? How about watching a funny movie? When she laughed loudly. Maybe her friend was telling funny jokes when she laughed out loud. Who knows? Okay, let's go on to the next page. Now, this reading one, I'm not going to do that with you, but it's probably good practice, but not today. All right. So what I want you to do. Look, it's the Titanic. Near, far, wherever you are. Okay, so let's go to self-test. We're going to do the self-test. Okay, so self-test. Not sorry. Self-test A. And this is on page 207. All right. So we're just going to go over all of the answers. So the first one, it says, it blank here every winter. Every winter. So right now it's 2019. So 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. In the later this winter, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Again and again, year after year. Okay, so this one, I know your mind is in the past progressive, but this one has to be A. It snows every winter, again and again and again. Number 2, blank, blank, blank now. Okay, so because of now, what are you doing now, now, now? Right? What is happening now, now, now? Oh, my dog is barking now, now, now. So for this one, and now he's got the old lady all excited too. Okay, so this one, it's a question. So you might be tempted to say, A, it is raining, but it actually has to be B. Is it raining now? Is it raining now? Okay, number 3, at 11 o'clock yesterday morning, This one has to be D. We were sitting. Okay, number 4. When she heard the news, she to cry. She heard the news, she began to cry. When she heard the news, she began to cry. So that's going to be C. So first she heard the news, your cat died. And then she began to cry. When she heard the news, oops. She began to cry. All right, number 5. I saw Karen in a store yesterday, but she blah 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 me. Okay, so I saw Karen, but she did not see me. But she did not see me. Okay, we're not going to say, but she was not seeing me. I saw her, she didn't see me. Okay, we're not going to say she was not seeing me because seeing in the progressive means to date someone, to have a boyfriend and girlfriend. Okay, so that's why sometimes people say, hey, are you seeing anyone? Or they could use it in the progressive. So in September of 2014, I was seeing someone, right? I was dating someone. Okay, number 6. I woke up when the alarm clock. Okay, so do you notice when? So I woke up when the alarm clock. This one has to be rang. So this one is going to be D. Okay, because of when, we have to use the past tense. All right, let's keep going. Number 7. While, I know it has to be past progressive. Then it says I, so I know it has to have was and verb ing. So the answer is going to be A. So while I didn't even have to read the whole sentence. While I was walking to school, what happened? I found my keys. Oh, sorry. That's number 8. I met my friend. All right, number 8. I blanked my room when I found my keys. This one, I was doing something to my room, and every answer has some kind of variation of the word clean. This one has to be D. So I was cleaning my room when I found my keys. Okay, number 9, blank when you arrived. This one's going to be were they sleeping? Were they sleeping when what happened? When you arrived. So, oops, that's a question mark, or a question. So first they were sleeping and sleeping and sleeping, right? Maybe they went to bed at 8 o'clock and you arrived at 10:30, right? And after 10:30 they were probably still sleeping. The person probably did not wake them up. Number 10, I'm sorry, I blanked time to call you yesterday. This one has to be A. I'm sorry, I didn't have time to call you. Okay, and then on to part B. Okay, this one, all we need to do is find the mistake. Okay, and I really encourage my students, don't just circle an answer or circle the correct answer. You need to fix it. So you're looking, one of these 4, and each one of these has a mistake. So it says we walking, there it is. We walking, right? So it should be, probably because we were going over the past progressive, we were walking. Let me see if that makes sense. We were walking in the park when when the rain started. Yep, that's it. So we're going to add the word were. We were walking in the park when the rain started. All right, let's do another one. Buildings began to shake when people were sleeping. Probably while people were sleeping. So they began to shake. So they may have shook for a long time, but they began to shake. So that's when it goes from not shaking to shaking. So buildings began to shake. Began to shake. Oh, I'm sorry, that's already there. What am I doing? Okay, so buildings began to shake instead of when, we're going to change that to while people can't spell were sleeping. Okay, so that one is C. Number 1 is A. Okay, number 3. The Titanic traveled fast when it hit a huge... So instead of traveled, I'm going to say the Titanic was traveling fast when it hit a huge iceberg. So it was traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling when it hit an iceberg. Okay, number 4. While Mozart was born... I don't like that. While he was born, his father worked... Probably when he was born. Because remember, we use when for the past simple. So when Mozart was born, that one's going to be A. This was A too, right? Okay, number 5. The explorer, which explorer? Marco Polo. Marco Polo was in a prison when he is writing. There it is. When he is writing. Because all of this is in the past. And especially, it's talking about Marco Polo. He died, so we have to use the past tense. When he was writing. Explorer Marco Polo was in a prison when he was writing about his travels in the East. This one's a funny one because really, technically, I would actually change it to while he was writing. I would say while he was writing. But definitely, if you're going to choose which one is more wrong, D. Because we can't say he is writing. He died. Okay, but I really don't like C either. I would change when to while. That's funny. In all these years, I've never actually noticed that mistake. Okay, number 6. When Thomas Edison was a child, he wasn't liking. There it is. So remember those. Here, I should cross that out. Sorry. Let's see if I can do that. Control. Okay, there it is. So instead of wasn't liking, we're going to say he didn't like. Okay, because remember, if it happens in the brain or in the heart, we don't use the progressive. We use the simple present, or in this case, the simple past. Okay, number 7. Last night, my brother was watching television and eat chocolate. So he was watching and he was eating. So this one's going to be C. So C. By the way, number 6, what did we say that was? Didn't like. So that one's D. All right, number 8. Okay, when was the semester begin? On the 14th or 15th. So instead of was, we're going to say did. Okay. Number 9. I'll be ready in 2 minutes. All right, number 9. When I was seeing. So instead of when I was seeing, we're going to say when I saw. And number 10. While they were traveling across Europe by car, they were having an accident. So we're going to say, instead of they were having an accident, it probably only happened once. Okay, and we really don't like to use have in the progressive unless we're talking about eating or having fun. So they were having lunch, they were having breakfast, they were having dinner, they were having a good time, they were having fun. But yeah, they had an accident. Okay, everyone. So as I told you in class, we're not going to have class on next week, Monday, on the 7th. We will have class on the 9th. There will be a different teacher because I will be out of town. And remember, the test is going to be October... Is it October 7th? No, I'm sorry, October 9th. Okay. Test. Oops. October 9th. Okay. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Hopefully you learned a lot. And goodbye.